Hello there and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. I'm of course George. Welcome along to the channel everybody. Welcome back to any existing viewers, any new viewers. Welcome along. I know there's been a lot of subscribers recently and views and everything. So if you're new, remember to keep subscribing. We're close to 500 and drop a like on the video as well and share it and all sorts. And yeah, it's another Rumours Round Leeds video today, and we're focusing on outgoings now. And it's that man, isn't it? Raphinha on everybody's lips, well, on Barcelona's lips in particular, isn't it? And Phil Hay, of course. Phil Hay has been speaking about Raphinha and the situation with Barcelona today. And we're just going to run through that today. So it's basically Phil has said Leeds United have slapped a 60 to 70 million pound price tag on Raphinha, so he will not go anywhere until somebody reaches that validation of him, basically valuation of him. That will be the only reason why Raphinha will go, if somebody triggers that kind of 70 million barrier. Phil said in his article that the club won't stand in his way, and they don't want to be, they don't want to hold him if a team come in for that validation of the player. So if somebody bids 60 to 70 million, then, I imagine Leeds United will straight away accept it, and then you can get the ball moving on personal terms for Raphinha and everything, who, of course, Raphinha is currently out with the Brazilian national squad. They beat South Korea, didn't they, 5-1 yesterday. I think he played 70-odd minutes of the game. And he's had a nice trip to Disneyland, apparently, as well. Korea, Disneyland is what Phil Hay says. He opens his article with that, doesn't he? Yeah, so hopefully he had a nice time there. And it took his mind off the situation with Barcelona, because Barcelona looked to be pulling the wool over everybody, over Leeds United's eyes here, and Raphinha himself. Now, I think Deco has been a little bit naughty in this situation personally. I think Deco was probably hoping in a way that Leeds United went down, so that then he could, negotiations with his former club Barcelona would run a bit more smoothly. He might have said, "Oh, you're going to get him for 20 million because Leeds are going to go down." Obviously, we didn't, and like Phil Hayes says in his article, we now hold the cards really in this situation. We don't owe Barcelona anything. We don't need to sell him really. They're not. They don't need all sorts of money. They're not in a bad financial state themselves, Leeds United. So we don't need to sell. So put the highest, the highest fair kind of bid, price tag on his head, and just say who wants him, kind of thing. He said that the club, they don't expect Rapha to sign a new deal, but he's not being a problem. He's not pushing for a move away from Leeds. So Rapha is probably quite happy. He knows, I think, eventually that he's going to get the Champions League football that he wants somewhere. Whether that might be at Leeds, who knows? Stranger things have happened. But I think Raphinha's probably quite happy to stay at Leeds. He seems quite settled in there, in all honesty. But also I think as soon as an offer would come in, I think it quickly up sticks and go. And I think it's that kind of situation where the club, aren't going to stand in his way. He is quite happy to stay until, somebody comes in for him with a good bid and is right for him. But I think maybe he did have his heart set on Barcelona, but they can't afford him. They can't afford him. I mean, it's come out, Phil has said in the article there again that, it might become a bit clearer by the 16th of June or after the 16th of June what their financial state is, because there's some kind of meeting going on. But they just can't afford him. They haven't got any money. They need to sell players to accumulate money to then be able. Even then, what kind of wages is Rapha going to be on? How are they going to afford to pay him that? It's not just the transfer fee; it's everything that goes with it, bonus fees, everything. So how are they going to afford it? And whether or not is the answer. He won't be going to Barcelona. He'll be staying at Leeds United, or somebody else will come in for that fee. It's not going to be Barcelona. And you look around the top teams who could possibly afford him. Bayern Munich are going after Mane. Um, Real Madrid look like they're going after Sterling. PSG don't really seem bothered for him. Even the Premier League clubs, I don't know who's going to pay that kind of money for him. I can't see anybody doing that. So, yeah, for me, he probably stays at Leeds United. And if he's happy to do that, then that's brilliant. Have him for at least another season. I'd expect after the season's done for him then to go, because he'd have had a World Cup under his belt. You cannot stay in the way of players for long. But if he's happy to stay and he's on board with the situation, then that's fine. And that's great. That's obviously more than fine. It's good. It's really good. If he wants to stay, then everybody will have him. We'll have him all his career if he wants to stay. But obviously the club won't stand in his way, and that's important really. You don't want him to be unhappy, but it sounds like he knows the situation. He's quite happy to do that. I don't know if reports were right really about him asking to leave. Apparently that isn't true. He's quite happy to sit tight and just wait and see what happens. So that's good, and good for Leeds United, and hopefully he will stay. But yeah, Barcelona it will rumble on. The transfer window's not even open yet, is it? So this situation will rumble on for a long time and go on till the last stages of the window, I would have said. But Barcelona are in a right mess. They can't even register. They've taken on or accepted to take on Christensen from Chelsea and Kessie, isn't it, from AC Milan, and they can't register them. That's how much dire straits. Really, Sunday League stuff. It's just laughable. It's an elite team, or supposed to be an elite football club. This, and they can't even afford to register a free transfer players. They haven't paid for these players. They just can't afford to register. It's a joke. And yet they're trying to go after players like Raphinha, players like Lewandowski, who, how are they going to afford him on his sort of wage demands? How are they going to do it? It's it's like shopping for, going doing your food shopping or something, getting to the till, getting all the expensive stuff and coming with a trolley full of stuff. You get to the till, you haven't got any money, so you can't afford it. It's as simple as that. But hopefully, Rapha will say, let me know in the comments what you think. Where will he end up? Will he stay at Leeds? What's the situation? Where do you see Rapha going from here? Hopefully it'll be with Leeds. But that's a quick rundown of what Phil said. Basically, the take-home messages. Leeds United have slapped a 60 to 70 million price tag on Raphinha. He won't be going anywhere until that validation is met, and Barcelona can't meet that, and that's it really. So that's it for the rumours around Leeds. Obviously, on Raphinha, it's just on one player today. There isn't a great deal of transfer rumours today on anything else really. I know there was briefly a little segment on Gibbs White, wasn't there, from Wolves. But I might look at him. I might not do, because it's only one rumour. I like to have a few to talk about really, to do a video. But I just thought, obviously, I'd give my 2 pence in the tank on this situation with Raphinha. I think it's a joke really. Barcelona, just need to stop messing about with him as well, because sounds to me, sounds by the reports like he had his heart set on Barca and they just can't afford him, and it's messing around with him as well. So yeah, he needs to know where he's at as well. But hopefully that will be Ellen Road next season and Leeds United. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Marching on together. I'll see you on the next one.